A beautiful night in Las Vegas. It is Holiday Hoops presented by Kay Jewelers, the MGM Grand Showcase, and our matchup, top 20 teams, Oklahoma State and Colorado. And welcome inside the MGM Grand. Dave Fleming alongside Fran Fraschilla, along with Andy Katz, for what promises to be a heck of a game between two teams, Fran, that don't play in the same conference any longer, but know a lot about one another.
They sure do. The coaching staffs know each other. A lot of these players do as well. And both point guards are going to get to know each other well tonight because we have two of the best in the country.
We do. A great matchup. Speaking of, that's the focus of our one-on-one.
No question about it. As Marcus Smart goes, so does the Cowboys. Good enough for a 7th ranking early in the year. Outstanding on so many facets. And then Spencer Dinwiddie, the junior from LA, who's really blossomed under Tad Boyle and the facilitator for this Buffalo's attack.
So two really talented players. We will focus a lot of attention on those two starting lineups, though. There are other talented kids in this game for the 20th ranked Buffaloes. Not just Dinwiddie, Askia Booker, nice scorer on the perimeter. Josh Scott, Xavier Johnson, and Wesley Gordon round out the starting five for Colorado. On the other side of things for Oklahoma State, the 7th ranked team of the country. Marcus Smart, Markel Brown has played really well. LeBron Nash probably playing the best basketball of his career, and Williams and Cobbins. For the Cowboys, their head coach Travis Ford is standing by with Andy Katz.
All right, thank you, Dave. Travis, what's the one thing that has to go well for you guys to knock off Colorado?
We got to keep him out of transition. Dinwiddie's great when he gets the ball crossing the court in transition, creating for himself or creating for others. This team's going to set a lot of ball screen. Our ball screen defense is going to have to try to keep the ball out of the paint.
You told me the last sort of complete game you guys played is when you beat Memphis at home. What has to change to make sure that you have another game like that?
Well, we just need to put two halves together. Effort, don't turn it off and on. Just be locked in the whole time. We've had a tendency here lately to try to turn it off and on.
Appreciate it, Travis.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Andy. So Travis Ford and his Cowboys feeling like one of the very best teams in the country. They certainly have one of the best players in the country in Marcus Smart on the big stage here in Las Vegas. Leading into the holidays, a chance for Marcus Smart and his teammates to have a very big game against a good Colorado team that has a signature win against Kansas. The Jayhawks went down in Boulder. Tad Boyle, his 4th season as the Colorado head coach.
And it's the longest Buffalo's winning streak since 1961-62. So Tad Boyle's done an outstanding job. He didn't play at Colorado, he played at Kansas, but he's a Colorado native, former Colorado Player of the Year at Greeley High School. Has done a great job in Boulder.
Pac-12 has had some excellent victories. Oregon took down Georgetown to get the year going. Arizona State, nice win on the road against UNLV here in Vegas. Even Washington State, kind of a bottom feeder team, at least expected to be in the Pac-12 with a win over a Big Ten team. Arizona, of course, is a great win at Madison Square Garden against Duke, and the one we were talking about, Colorado taking down Kansas.
Oh, there's a lot of strength at the top of the league. I'll tell you a team that's a sneaky team is Utah.
He's played well. Gives it up to Spencer Dinwiddie, the junior from the LA area. Great bounce pass look, and Josh Scott with the dunk.
Very simple cross screen inside. And
there's Markel Brown with that shot fake. He gets so high with the release on the jumper. Yet calling for the ball, so he's trying to tough it out. That was a shot. He throws a lob to Scott. Tough catch, and then trying to save it in was stolen away. Here's Marcus Smart, the spin move, and the lay-in.
That's what he does well. He attacked.
Not a very effective pick and roll there. Booker, though, is open for 3. Good.
And Steve Booker has his feet.
Playing better, and he's changed the way that he plays.
There's no question.
Booker along 2. His second make in the early going.
I call Steve Booker, he's like a punt returner.
Winning shot against Kansas. Pac-12 Player of the Week, Nash with the foul.
One thing you'll see from Oklahoma State is a very unselfish team.
Head coach, a former point guard himself. His team plays as you would expect for a team that...
With Brian Nash.
Wow. That's high praise.
Played to his strengths.
Here is Marcus Smart from the outside. Good. Little spin move. Good defense there by Colorado. Markel Brown attacks, and the follow attempt was missed by Cobbins. Booker was looking for Thomas, couldn't get it to him. Dinwiddie found a little opening himself, airballed the 3. Phil Forte in for the first time. He'll get a catch here on the inbound. Sophomore Kamari Murphy also in the game for the Cowboys.
The junkyard dog is in the game, and there's a story behind that.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Forte, great three-point shooter, hits his first attempt.
Chronicled, they've known each other since 4th grade, and one of the reasons Marcus Smart came to Oklahoma State is because Travis Ford intelligently recruited Phil Forte separately. Didn't make it a package deal.
Good catch, and then a very nice move. Ron Hopkins, the freshman from Mesa, Arizona. Started player out of high school, stuck with his hometown Buffaloes. And has had some big moments. Played well against Kansas in their win against the Jayhawks. Dinwiddie, he's got to like that matchup against Forte, but didn't get a shot off.
No, Forte forced him down to the baseline.
Dinwiddie steps through and scores.
That was really well done by Dinwiddie.
Vegas 13-11, the early lead for Oklahoma State and their star Marcus Smart. Friend, you've been talking about what makes him such a good all-around player. It's not just all about the offense.
Without question, it's the defensive end, maybe even more so. Take a look. Watch him highlight it now. Watch how many things he can do on one possession. He's going to guard the screen and roll. First thing he does is he helps Stevie Clark get through. Then he's going to go back to his man. His man is going to post up. He's going to front the post. That's textbook, by the way, right there. Then he's going to play center field. Watch the trap. He's going to lurk, see what he's got. Okay, takes it away. Now, ball gets out of the trap, and he comes up with the steal. When you're talking about defensive versatility, it starts with Marcus Smart. I honestly believe, Dave, and in fact, I don't just believe this. I know he could guard any position in college basketball. There's
Brian Nash, as Fran knows, he came in with so much hype when he came into college, wasn't able to live up to those expectations. Now Smart has taken that leadership role, making big shots, and allowed LeBron Nash to find his own spot.
Dalton, sophomore. Here's another Xavier Johnson, the left-hander. Strong move, it goes down.
And that guy that can play both inside and out, much like we talked about in that first game with Marquette's guy.
Thomas, quick spin move, but didn't finish. Brown comes away with a loose ball. And then a foul at mid-court by Jerron Hopkins. Now the Cowboys.
You know, I mentioned Kamari Murphy earlier.
Yeah, pretty in its own way.
Oh, if you know what, if you're a coach and you love defense, hey, this Colorado team's going to be tough at home.
Booker just was not going to pass it there.
No doubt, no doubt.
He was going to shoot. 2 to go in the first half. Moments ago, the Colorado head coach, Tad Boyle, visited with Andy Katz.
All right, Tad, that last shot by Askew Booker obviously evened things up. What needs to change, though, offensively to get a little bit more rhythm?
Well, we're holding on the ball. We're dribbling it too much. We're not moving it side to side, and we're not getting inside. We got to do a better job. We're not executing very well offensively. It's a tight score.
Dinwiddie just goes right by Smart, finds Scott, who missed the shot. And maybe that's part of what you're talking about. Needs to be a little stronger under the basket. Meanwhile, Smart with the left hand.
Right to the rim. Tad Boyle's not going to like that. You got to build your defense with 5 white shirts against Marcus Smart.
Boys who have a 2-point lead. Oklahoma State playing defense here against Colorado. Trying for a little backdoor kind of play. Tipped away and stolen. Markel Brown on the move. Brown reverse off the glass.
How about that? Pick and roll. That time they did get to the middle of the floor.
Dinwiddie in the corner. Jump stop and scores.
Well, he's got really good size at 6'5".
Dinwiddie gets the ball and dribbles to the baseline. Overshot is marked, but the offensive rebound on the weak side from Fletcher.
I like the aggressiveness. There's no way that Clark's going to bother home this year in the Pac-12.
Well, they have lost very few games in 4 years with Tad Boyle at home. 3 missed from the corner by Thomas. Brown, a little hesitation, draws a foul. Kind of a savvy play there.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, which has fed so many top players to college hoops over the last several years.
And a teammate of Marcus Smart this past summer on the game last year at West Virginia where he picked up 3 fouls in the first half. And it actually turned out to be a key because the Cowboys went on to win that game without really much of a contribution from Marcus Smart.
Coaches don't forget that kind of stuff, though. Nash on the break. Murphy, layup, good.
Saw Nash handle the ball. Aaron Eaton was a very good player at Oklahoma State.
Booker, good.
He's been impressive. You know what? He's played with good rhythm and pace.
Which you don't always say about him. He's a talented guy, but that's not always his mentality, the mentality of the junkyard dog.
Absolutely. For Christmas, you know, my idea is play 4 games in one day here at the MGM. The fans are...
Just a terrible idea, but we're going through with it anyway. Booker for 3.
How about Ski Booker?
Is that Brown again?
You know, Markel Brown is a great shot blocker, heading towards 100 career blocks for a guard.
Oh, he's listed at 6'3".
Yep. He's got the most blocks in Cowboy history from the guard spot. Look at that play.
Picks up an assist.
Yep.
Found his teammate Michael Cobbins. Shot clock down to 4. Brown, very tough contested shot is good.
Let me tell you who's going to be impressed with that. About the 30 scouts behind us, because good example right there.
Interesting that Colorado was not slowing it up. There was very little difference between game clock and shot clock, so the idea of a 2-for-1 was sort of far-fetched. They were aggressive, though, and they draw a foul. I wish more
college coaches don't do it. They don't want their alumni to say, why is that coach letting his team take that shot? The referee trying to get a count. Here's the pick and roll.
Down to 5. Brown foul.
And 1. Tell you what, Colorado, that screen was set so far out on the...
3.9 seconds on the clock. He completes the 3-point play. Colorado can get a shot off here.
Timeout.
Tad Boyle calls a timeout.
Use it back underneath their basket.
Get it into King. 1, 2, 3 dribbles and a shot, and it's short. But the point still stands.
Got what you wanted to get, just didn't go in.
Well, we talked so much about the point guards, Marcus Smart and Spencer Dinwiddie. Not maybe as huge of a part of the story of this game as we might have expected. Holiday time in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're just off the strip. Yeah, we're on the strip. 32-26, start of the second half. Oklahoma State has the lead. Santa Claus here in town. Yeah, root for the Buffaloes. Their team down by 6. Here inside the MGM Grand, Dave Fleming alongside Fran Fraschilla, along with Andy Katz. We talked so much at the outset about Marcus Smart. Maybe the best player in all of college hoops. He was very effective, Fran, when he was on the court before he got into foul trouble.
Exactly right. We saw him get to the rim. He's got great combination of speed and quickness. He showed that to us early in this half. Take a look at Marcus Smart coming at you. The spin move, the finish at the rim, and then in transition, right to the cup, easily done. But watch this now. See, he's going to body up to Dinwiddie, then he's going to challenge him, picks up a cheap foul, comes right back with another cheap foul. Can't be about him and Spencer Dinwiddie. It's got to be about his team. So guess what? Markel Brown said, you know what? I'm a senior. I'll take over. I'll create my own. Big basket at the end of the half. The 3-point play by Markel Brown.
So Brown found a way to fill the void when Smart was on the bench. Look at the shot chart. Markel Brown, he's a guard, but he's very good at getting to the rim.
No question. Athletic. He creates his own shot. That's a skill we talked about. And he picked up where Marcus Smart left off when he went to the bench.
On the other side of things, that one-on-one matchup, we were so focused on Spencer Dinwiddie, who's an NBA prospect in his own right, the junior from Los Angeles. Point guard, sort of an unorthodox point guard for the Buffaloes, and he had a quiet first half.
Well, for him, it's not about scoring points, but as the coaching staff has said on a number of occasions, he sometimes can be too unselfish. He's got to stay aggressive, whether it's passing or scoring.
Really want to go that direction.
And he's got no choice the way they're playing him.
Dinwiddie this time does go left, uses the right hand to score, though. Ryan Williams to Markel Brown. I love the way he elevates on that jump.
Absolutely. And I tell you, to see the screen that was set for him, Oklahoma. Dave.
Gordon trying to enter the ball down low. They left him wide open, so he shoots it and makes it.
Wow. Gordon's not a guy that you think is going to beat you out there. Just a couple games as well. He's just getting his feet wet.
And it was a 2.
Okay.
Foot was on the line, but still the point is understood. Booker in transition. Booker!
Pretty good move by Booker. Brian Williams tried to poke it free. And Booker got it to the rim.
Pass, a little shot fake into the lane. Smart shoots a 3, got knocked to the ground and fouled. Xavier Johnson, not a very smart play, trying to challenge the shot, okay, but commits a foul.
Aggression to the mean, is that a Stanford term?
Yeah, we use that every once in a while.
Yeah, it's back to where we thought he would shoot, which is around 33% from behind the arc.
It's been sort of an erudite broadcast, hasn't it?
I dropped it. You know, I'm sitting next to a bright guy. You're rubbing off. You know,
That's an offensive foul.
Take a look now. Watch him frustrate Xavier Johnson. Look at his lower body. There's no hand action. And
Yep. Your ground.
Exactly. Telling you, he could guard any spot.
Markel Brown, baseline. He is playing very well. Days update our one-on-one two Wooden Award candidates. Our Wendy's Wooden Watch, Marcus Smart, Spencer Dinwiddie. And both guys have played well at times. The foul trouble's been a problem for Marcus Smart.
No, it has. And James Michael McAdoo is who he is. He's played very well.
Scott, spin move. That left hand we saw a moment ago.
Exactly.
Brian Nash, step back and scores.
Smooth move. Remember we talked about in the first half how quickly they closed on Nash when he put it on the floor. No double team that time.
Quickly the other way. Fletcher maybe makes up for that mistake.
Yep.
One of the classic. It all starts on Sunday. Quarterfinals include Iowa State, Oregon State, St. Mary's, South Carolina. Marcus Smart doesn't give us enough time to talk about the Diamondbacks. Too fast, too strong, too good.
Young man who signed with St. Mary's and put on a show for the Lobos. It's got to be breaking your heart a little bit.
Yeah, it's bittersweet. You pointed out Randy Bennett was very gracious, wanted to play for his dad. Dinwiddie way off on the three. And now the breakout for Brown. Brown and Smart in the open court. Brown draws the foul. And Marcus Smart, his teammate, claps for him, gives him a high five.
Just an awkward sequence of footwork, and of course that shot will be remembered for a long time in Boulder.
Signature win in the history of the Buffaloes program. There's Booker.
Exactly. By the way, I said it looked like a travel. It certainly wasn't.
Yeah.
Cowboys, they mix it up and cause turnovers.
Gordon trying to force it in there on the break. And the shot, a foul. Brian Nash, who does, as you say, like to handle the ball in the open.
He does.
On the free throw. Now Dinwiddie, you can see why he was upset there. Let's watch it again.
Oh yeah, and by it's all ball, and even if he had hand is part of the ball.
And Dinwiddie might have had a layup, gave it up. He'll shoot the three from the corner and make it.
Again, Spencer Dinwiddie's got to start to be a little bit more aggressive.
Smart pull up two. Off the glass, no good. He was calling for a foul. Scott does draw the foul. So Scott taped up, patched up, makes the first of two free throws. So the many years of their program. Things are different now in Boulder. Nash had good position and scores.
See, there's that we talked about. Travis Ford knows when to get Brian Nash a shot.
Gordon back to Hopkins. Three no good. Scott over the back. Appreciate that communication. Forte, the shot fake, and fouled on the three. Couldn't quite get it to go, but he'll shoot three free throws. 31 of 32 coming into this game.
What was that, 97%, I think?
Yeah.
It just dropped to like 95, maybe 94. He was a very similar player.
Yeah, a very good player for the Cowboys. There's Scott rejected by Nash. Forte with the hustle, but he saved it right into Scott, who scores.
Well, that's an era of commission by Phil Forte. Travis hustle, but you got to be smart about saving that ball.
Great entry from Smart to Murphy.
Boy, how good a job. How good a delivery was that? And give Kamari Murphy credit for doing a great job of sealing his man.
The floor. Good skip look. And the three goes down for Trayshawn Fletcher.
Now, he's a guy that's not a great shooter, about 27%. A good job of getting him a lot of minutes.
Here's Marcus Smart. Another good pass. This time Nash.
How about that? Little curl screen. Anytime you run a tight curl like that, the big guy cannot help up. A good two-man game.
Smart trying for two-man basketball there and a foul. Brown was shoved to the ground. So a pushing foul against Colorado. Free throw. 19 already. He's had some big scoring games this season and feels like he's on his way to another one.
Remember, this is a guy in the last 4 games, including that Memphis loss at Old Spice, who was only averaging about 11.
Yeah. I think he's played good defense. Dinwiddie elevates and scores.
Good move, good no call, too. About good post up right there.
Scott with the left hand foul.
Told me we've got to get the ball inside. It's plays like that to Scott that potentially can get them back in the game.
Here's Brown, passed up the three for the better shooter. Forte hits.
How about that? How about that? How about that? That's called a next one.
He jumped so high, he's got plenty of time to make the decision.
That's right.
Dinwiddie, foul. Some guys, that time, yeah. There aren't that many players in college hoops who do that. Smart gets by the help and just blows his way to the basket with the foul.
Great execution again. I hate to keep repeating myself, but there's some great screen set. And then Cobbins got Smart, and Smart did the rest. But it all started because Phil Forte was able to screen Cobbins' man so he could not help at the point of the ball screen.
Completes the three-point play. Here's Booker, steps into the two. Good.
Booker's been quiet in the second half, but that time he got loose off the loose ball. Now,
Booker at 13 and a half. Forte three.
that's only about the 10,000th time those two guys have hooked up. And
timeout. The Cowboys have upped the lead to 10. 7:32 to go. Marcus Smart and his teammates trying for a nice win here in Las Vegas. We'll step aside. Marcus Smart. We'll talk a little bit more about the Cowboys start. When we
it started early with his scoring ability to get to the rim, open up the defense a little bit. He's always been on and off. The coach on the floor, off the floor. Great dime here. You could have made this basket right here. Kamari Murphy finishes it, and then he just finishes it all off with that strength, ability to get to the rim, attack the pick and roll, and get a little bit of that glory for himself. But it's not about himself. It's about this 10-point lead right now for the Cowboys.
Their offense has been really good. 10 of 13 from the field in the second half. Marcus Smart's been a part of that. Their defense has been good too. Dinwiddie was fouled.
With almost a remarkable sweep of the week, as we know, Colorado with one of the biggest non-conference wins, beating Kansas.
Detroit, he played with Ray McCallum last year. And you talk about transfer U. Everybody talks about Iowa State. How about Joe Young, Mike Moser, and Jason Kalist for Dana Altman? You talk about Duck Dynasty, huh?
Together, and the Ducks have been pretty remarkable.
No question. And now they've got Dominic Artist and Ben Carter back to go with that mix. And Mike Moser is more comfortable around the basket. He tried to become a perimeter guy at UNLV. That did
good at it. Dinwiddie, by the way, with 4 fouls. Johnson way short on the 3. You can see that coming. Scott fighting for the loose ball, and he's fouled. This is going to try to buy a few minutes with the 4 fouls. Josh Scott, he's played well in the second half.
He has played well. He's a good, solid young post guy. Who last year got an offensive rebound on 3% of the possessions. And tonight, he gets rewarded.
Yeah, Nash, he's shown some good things.
Flip screen, he needed to go right to the rim.
Booker in transition, he came up short, followed his own miss though, nicely done.
Very good. Forte did not check out. Steve Booker went right to the missed shot. Watch out.
Blows by, was elevating, was thinking about the dunk, and the ball hit the backboard as he got fouled. And I think that's number 5. Ron Hopkins is a talented young player, but just didn't have a chance to hang on the court much tonight.
We'll have C.J. Wilcox, who can really score it. And Kevin Holly's done a really good job at UConn, despite that loss to Stanford the other night.
68-59. Gordon attacks, tips his own miss, did it again, couldn't finish.
Still hadn't put it all together yet. It'll come in time.
Smart little post move and tried to use the left hand. Over dribble, 3 too strong, and a whistle and a foul. And I think that's against Colorado. No, it's against Oklahoma State. Scott was the one who was fouled. Colorado fans partially watching, partially texting. Both free throws good.
But now.
Nash with contact. Score.
That's a horse move right there. He just horsed the defender right underneath the basket. 118 threes his first 2 years. That's an air ball.
Johnson just been way off tonight.
That one game, remember when he knocked off Missouri at home and he had a huge game? Look at this. Yep. Rhythm 3, Forte.
Weapons.
Yep. And an unselfish team as well.
So the league teams would get throughout the country. Their power rating is going to be off the charts. All those teams will be when we get to March.
And by the way, don't forget the 2 Bedlam games too, Andy. Oklahoma
with the foul.
Yeah, but Oklahoma's only got 1 loss, and that was to Michigan State in Brooklyn.
In fact, Marcus Smart playing multiple years, as Fran knows, in the 18 and 19 years old. And Billy Donovan telling me after that Smart took on a bit of a different role this year than he had a year ago. Also, Aaron, so this was a huge bonus for Gordon to play on this team, not just for the future of USA basketball, but also for the way he's played here at the start of this season.
Defense by Scott. Oklahoma State going for the spectacular play. Dinwiddie back in, and he hits a 3. And Tad Boyle wants a timeout. That was a big sequence for the Buffaloes, and Travis Ford is not real happy about it. Has not committed a foul in the second. Dinwiddie's up to 18 points now. Those 4 fouls are looming.
Well, we talked about how quiet Spencer Dinwiddie was, but he's been much more aggressive in the second half.
Some pressure from Colorado. They've got 1 timeout left. A very quick 6-0 run and a 5-second violation. Oh, here come the Buffaloes. LeBron Nash can't believe it.
He's playing center field right now, and he's going to lose Fletcher, and he did.
Fletcher open, no good. Had a great look and just didn't hit the shot.
Well, I'll tell you, Marcus Smart was just kind of watching the ball, and Fletcher, that would have been a huge play.
Uses the screen. Nash, shot clock down to 3. Nash all the way, and he tried to dunk it and missed. Here's Dinwiddie.
Oh,
and
that's
he
a
was
foul.
not fouled. There was no whistle. Scott was fouled.
Well, Dinwiddie got fouled. Well, Brian Nash.
Dunk was an outlet pass.
No, it really was. Look how powerful Nash was, but that led to the open court.
Here's Dinwiddie.
And that's a foul.
Scott finally hustling down, got the loose ball, and he'll go to the free throw line with 1.
Tells you right now is Tad Boyle's going to probably press and trap and foul, and that is critical.
Yeah, 2 huge misses also. Now they will foul Brown.
Call the foul.
Period. Gets the roll.
End of sentence.
Yeah.
From the front.
That's up as quickly as they can. That miss helps. This counts as wasting time. Talton, spin move, scores. And there's the final timeout for the Buffaloes.
Seeding projections, and right now Oklahoma State is 6th. When I say 6th, they're going to foul Forte. S-curve. They're on the 2nd line. One of the things that drove him was that he played so poorly. Got up in front of about 700 people, and he said, "Marcus, I don't know if you're staying or you're going, but ask Trey Burke how much fun his sophomore year was."
Dinwiddie, no good, and Gordon couldn't quite finish. Another opportunity missed, playing volleyball, and Scott gets the basket, and now they count the basket. Tad Boyle not happy. He was worried that wasn't going to count. 4-point game, 25.2 to go.
And he's got
25.5 to go.
Don't let Forte catch it. Foul Smart.
And Smart does get fouled by Scott, then gets knocked to the ground.
No, this is, yeah.
I don't think there was a lot of extra contact there.
There shouldn't be anything called here. They ought to go to the monitor, but
Smart, whose rhythm in this game was really interrupted with the foul trouble in the first half, looking for his 18th point. He's got it. 6-point lead, 23 seconds to go.
got to have a 3-point shot play in your pocket.
Booker contested 3, and a whistle and a foul, and that foul is against Oklahoma State.
The Colorado team is going to be a tough team in the Pac-12.
Scott, 13 free throws in the second half. He has lived at the line. There's a quick foul. Forte, though, the guy that Oklahoma State wants to have the ball, they want him going to the line.
And he did.
Up when we're done. From Vegas, Forte makes the first of 2. This was not a home game against one of the best teams in the country. Scott, off the missed free throw, got to go. Forte's missed 2 free throws in this game. Booker, here's a 3, way too strong. Dinwiddie, nice heady play. Buzzer goes off, no shot attempt. Didn't matter. Oklahoma State survives 78-73, the final score.